Your body's moving under the stream.
Welcome, everybody. How you guys doing tonight?
Yo,
Doing good.
on the edge of our seats.
Check.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Somebody donate some headshots for these fellas. You know how I told him after I did that, because, like I worked with the tools I had. And I said, if you want to send me headshots so we can replace those images out. And I received 0. A sum total of 0.
Wait, you wanted to get it from us?
Yes, I can't take your picture.
I was waiting for you to come over and take my picture.
I mean, I would love a trip up there, and maybe someday I'll get up where you're at when it's not snowing. But
just like make funny faces for emote.
Hey, mortally crafted, half-ass El Blanco and fanboy, what's up, everybody? Hey, check this out. I got, look at this, fancy stuff. A new mouse pad. I haven't had one in like 20 years, so this is a new one, and
that looks like nice and firm too.
It's really thick, and it is. I expected way worse quality. I
got one of a Tonberry down here that's falling apart, and I got to get it replaced.
This one I was impressed with. I like it, and it works really well. Yeah, so I'm pretty excited about that. Hopefully, that lasts me another 20 years, and then I'll be dead. So, that's all I need. What are you guys up to? God, it has been a month, right? Like, we made it through March, and here we are in April.
How many sessions have we been in Verminia at this point?
So
4 or 5?
A lot.
2 months.
It has been way
I think 2 months.
It's been.
I think it's been 2 months. Yeah,
I feel like we haven't even really chipped away at the true story.
that's
Somebody
has.
Somebody has. Yeah. We're all here trying to get into as much trouble as possible, and Grayson's over there like, all right, hey, I found it. Where are you guys at?
But tonight we're gonna chip away at that, and everyone's gonna want to stay tuned because you don't know what kind of surprises we got. There are surprises, and you're not gonna want to miss what we got tonight. I'll just say that.
Is one of those surprises quiet music?
We are going to have a funeral service for Zoramir tonight, and you're not going to want to miss that. Giant rocks fall from the sky, often dropped by the Griffin guards.
Definitely.
Yeah, so shut up.
Death by Griffin
just a turd. Thanks Wild Magic RPG for the follow. Mina P13, Error Code, and Outcry, who is one of the eGeekly members. Thank you for those follows. We love you. Yeah, that's what I got. Oh, important announcement. We will not be here next week because I will be out of town. So whatever cliffhanger we end on tonight, you'll have to wait 2 weeks for that. Sorry. Yeah. It's really hard for me to travel with a PC, 2 monitors, and a good internet connection. So,
get work.
Hey, Bubble7. First time chat. Long time listener, first time chatter. We welcome you to the show. Always wanted to say that. Anybody else got anything before we get going? All right, let's get in there. Let's get us some music that's acceptable to these jokers.
You kick on the combat music. No,
we're not even out of bed yet,
baby. We're fighting from our bedside.
All right, let's tune that up a little. Is that acceptable, Zoramir?
What?
I'll kill you.
That's perfect.
I can barely hear it.
Just shove cotton in his ears.
I know. All right. Where we left off last week, the party came together to finally discuss what is the best method to move forward to solve what is going on in Verminia and to retrieve a missing piece of Arlo's things where he lays under threat. After an emotional scene with Blaylock and his mother, where Blaylock chose what his future held, he decided to leave his mother in the inn and travel with Arlo and Galtier back to Beaconsfield to try to retrieve the missing piece, the last place that Arlo saw this piece. Grayson went and investigated into some of his contacts, trying to find some more information. And as we neared the end, Zoromir went through a strange transformation as he tries to purge the evil that was Queladon in his body. Taking wings, this halfling flew into the sky for a short bit before crashing into a building.
I don't know why not. I'm used to Pokemon.
And following into a alley there where a few commoners come walking over. What was that? What was on your back?
Oh my! Ow! It hurts. My wings. What do you think? How do they look?
What the hell is that?
Harathir, you just gave them to me. Well, I don't know if you know who that would be, but yeah, I just got them, and that fall really hurt. I figured I'd give them a test flight.
What? And that you can see him getting closer and closer to you. What are you?
You don't need to get too close to me, friend. Take a step back.
And they're just, you see a puzzled look, and there's 2 or 3 of them now kind of looking at you, their face all twisted up. Are you some abandoned dragonborn?
What? No, I'm just a halfling.
You don't look like no halfling I've ever seen.
That's right. And he kind of stands, chest puffed out a little bit.
Oh, I think your mother must have been beautiful. Well, and their face just crunching up. Do you know your mother?
Yeah, well, I did. I haven't seen her in quite some time now. Not.
Did she love you, or did she throw you out in the garbage?
What are you getting at? As he's starting to realize that they're making fun of him.
Well, my mother-in-law is not the prettiest person, but you will. It's wow.
Oh, this wasn't my. No, my mother was.
Are those real? And he grabs up and grabs a hold of one of your wings and starts shaking it back and forth.
Hey, don't touch me! And I push him to the side.
Bloody hell, they're real.
Yeah, they're real. I have a dragon inside of me.
Well, I should suspect that you should stay away from the city guard. If you're out flying like that, the Griffin Riders should take you down.
Do they not like flying people here?
No. We typically don't like people who fly. Do you know, can you name very many people who fly that are nice and kind and out not trying to do something evil?
Sits and thinks for a second. No, but it wouldn't surprise me. There's all sorts of walks of life on this island. I'm sure they're out there.
Yeah, I'd be watching yourself. I'm sure someone saw you.
Do I see any guards around looking at me or anything like that?
Not at the moment.
At the moment, okay. Well, thank you for the friendly bit of advice there. I guess it's probably best not to fly around inside the city walls. I could see how some might find it intimidating.
You might want to head to the apothecary and maybe get a salve for that skin. It looks dry. It's
Do you not like my scales? I thought they were quite a nice addition.
Are those tattoos? Are those real? And you see him reaching out to poke one.
Here, don't get too handsy, but you can feel it. I cautiously let him feel the scale.
He presses into it and then looks at his finger. Mabel, I think he has leprosy. I think he's sick. Go away. Stay away from me. I may be sick too.
Oh, it is contagious by touch. I probably should have told you that first.
Mabel, get the salve. And he takes off running.
It's incurable.
And you are left alone in the alley, and not far. You're maybe a block or so from Tinder's Den.
It's nighttime, right?
I believe it was morning.
Was it morning?
No, it was night. It was night.
Yeah,
You're
I
right.
thought
It was afternoon.
Oh yeah, it was
we were
afternoon.
Getting, we were getting ready to leave soon.
Yep, it was
Yeah,
afternoon. So it's getting into evening time-ish.
We were all resting before they took off. All right.
Well, you weren't resting.
What?
What?
All right. I am going to, I guess, go back inside and resume the original plan before voices came to my head and rest up a little bit. Lay down and brush the dust off and let my bruises start turning black and blue from the fall.
As you walk in, Tindra's there. Well, did they work?
They definitely worked. I guess, well, I was trying to look at them. They're very big wings, so I thought I could fly longer, but turns out they get weak pretty quick, and well, you come falling to the ground, but in that short period of time, it was incredible.
Just be careful.
I hear the city guard don't take kindly to people flying inside the
Not,
city walls.
it's not looked kindly upon.
Is it illegal, per se?
Yes, very much so.
Ah, okay. Okay. Duly noted. I won't do it
It's
again.
not, say, on the code of conduct, but you can see where it could be problematic.
Well, it's not on the code of conduct. Then I should be. I suppose I've vowed not to get up to any tomfoolery while we're here. I'll stay on the good side of the law.
Probably recommended.
Say, could I have another meat pie delivered to my room in a few hours' time?
Sure. You still
Thank
want
you.
that wake-up call?
Let's have the pie delivered with a wake-up call.
Okay.
Toss a gold coin.
Enjoy
Okay,
your
well.
rest.
Thank you.
You head to your room. Anything you want to do before you drift to sleep?
No, I'm gonna turn in.
The rest of you rest for a short amount of time. Zormir, you're awakened by the smell of pie and a soft knock at your door.
Rush over and open the door to pick it up.
You see it sitting in front of your door. You can see light bits of steam rising from the golden crust.
I'll flap my wings a little bit in excitement. Oh, this looks delicious.
All right. The rest of you wake up, and I'll let you decide what order you want to get up and move. Whoever speaks goes.
I'm going to take my pie and head straight down to the dining area and just sit and start gorging my face.
Okay. You sit down there and sit at the small table in the inn and begin eating. Who's next?
I'll make my way down.
Grayson, you walk down the stairs, and for a moment, it takes you a while to like understand what you're looking at as you see a small figure with small set of wings on their back eating a meat pie in familiar clothes.
Grayson?
It hasn't even been 4 hours.
What do you mean? It's only... Oh, I have wings now.
Oh, really?
I'll flutter them a little bit. What do you think? They look good, right?
I just sit down next to him.
I like this Hrathier. Hrathier's a lot nicer than Quailodon ever was.
Yeah, yes, but how many more changes before you're not who you were anymore?
Well, we aren't very much looking like a halfling anymore, but mentally I still feel all there. So I think we're doing pretty good. But turns out, I guess the city doesn't really like it when you fly around inside the walls, so I'm not going to do that again.
You've already been out flying.
What would you do if you just got wings? Sit down?
I've never been in that kind of situation, but looking at you and all the changes that have happened so far, the fact that I haven't killed myself yet, I guess you're doing better than what I would have.
Well, if you ever want to go through a similar transformation, I can direct you to a shopkeeper that might have some artifacts that,
Yeah,
well,
I think I'll pass on that one.
okay. Would you like any pie? It's delicious.
Oh, no, thank you. Have you seen any of the others yet?
Nope. I was going to take another handful. Just me.
I'll go ahead and get up.
All right. You get up and walk downstairs. You see Grayson and a winged person sitting at the table.
Is he facing away from me?
No, his face is facing toward the stairway. Grayson's back is to you.
Okay. I'll just kind of look around and slowly go to the table and... So...
Hey, Arlo,
see
I got
another-
wings now.
Yeah. Can you put them back where they belong so you can hide them?
How much can I tuck them in?
I mean, they fold against your back like a typical dragon would. I mean, they don't like disappear.
Those are definitely interesting. Have you tried them yet?
Of course I tried them. See, Grayson, this is what a normal person would do if they just got wings.
I'll admit I'm a little bit jealous. I mean, Hrathier gave those to you?
He did. He wasn't sure what was going to happen at first. I was a little scared. I guess there was still some remnants of Quailodon inside me that he needed to cleanse me of. I didn't realize that, but he did it. It hurt quite a bit, as you can
All right,
imagine.
but look what you got,
spreading
though,
wings.
for all that pain.
That's what I'm saying. I'm glad he did it.
I'm a little jealous. He never did anything like that for me. That's
Hrathir is
awesome.
pretty nice.
Congratulations. What do you think, Grayson? Isn't that awesome? I bet you wish you had some wings.
No. The more he changes, the more attention he brings to us.
Oh, that's for sure. Everybody's going to be looking at them. That's why I said maybe you can put a cloak on them or hide them when you're walking around town, because you ain't sneaking with that.
I don't think it's illegal to have wings walking around town. It turns out just I'm not allowed to use them
Yeah,
inside the walls.
but if you remember, the guards were already worried about your appearance when we got to the city, and you just keep changing. Granted, I know it's not entirely your choice, but it does make things more difficult.
Are you suggesting I should cover them up somehow?
I would suggest you disguise yourself accordingly while we are out in public.
Would my cape that I have adequately cover them, or would I need more?
No. I mean, it's really hard to cover something like this.
I'm gonna get a turtle shell. I'm gonna become a turtle.
Total.
Well, I'm happy for you. Enjoy them.
Thank you. Not that I ever wished for combat, but I'm kind of excited to try them out in the heat of battle.
AFK, I got a call coming.
Okay.
I'll get up and I'll make sure all my elixirs are made for the trip. And
Okay.
then I'll pack up everything and head down.
All right. Blaylock, you're next.
I'll gather my things up, and is my mother? What is she sleeping?
I can't. Did she go to bed as well with you, or?
I think she did, and I just slept on the chair like we did before.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'd say
I gave Tendra the box of clothing too, so she was supposed to take those up there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't remember if we got her a room or not, so I can't say for certain. I think
I'd say she's awake as you stir.
okay. Mother, I need to leave. Be safe.
You take care of yourself.
And you. No.
Be
come on.
safe.
Yep. And once I gather up my things, I said, we shall only be a few days at most. And then I'll walk out the door, head downstairs.
She reaches a hand up just momentarily as your back is turned and falls down, and she just stays in the room. You head downstairs and you see a winged person sitting at the table, and Grayson and Arlo and Galtier, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you all see Blaylock come down the stairs.
Well, sorry, Mayor. You have changed again.
In what way?
Maybe the wings protruding from your back.
I have wings now? Oh yeah, I have wings now.
Well, now I won't need to carry you to and fro. You can simply fly.
Oh, Blaylock, I do wish, but as I found out a few hours ago, if I try to fly for a long time with them, I come hurtling back towards the ground at great velocity.
Remind me when I get back, I have a means for you to be able to float down rather than fall. But you will need to remind me for another time.
Okay, sounds like it could be pretty handy.
It could, if done correctly.
That means you need to make this trip safe, Blaylock. I want to see you back here soon.
I intend on completing this task with Arlo successfully so that we may continue with this arduous tale of Castle Verminia and its depths.
True that.
Well, hopefully we are prepared now. I went and purchased a set of sending stones, and I've gotten 4 scrolls of locate object, which Gaultier has 3 of them. So hopefully when you get there, if you come into any problems or individuals who don't wish to be truthful about things they found, you'll have a head start.
Indeed. These sending stones. Who will carry them?
I have the one, and Grayson has the other one.
Fair enough. At some time during our journey, I would like to study those. They could be quite handy.
Well, hopefully we don't need to use them too much on this initial trip.
Very, very handy to communicate over long distances.
I've never used one before, right, Drastin?
You have not.
Okay.
They're a pretty common item that most people know about. Yeah.
Okay. That's good. But to ask Grayson how to use them. But since apparently they're common.
Yep. 25 words. One way. They get one reply.
Okay.
So once per day?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think it is time for us to depart.
I agree, we need to get going.
Make great haste as fast as I could.
Yes. Yes, we should. We should end this little distraction so that we can get back to business with what we came here. Seems
hopefully
like...
Zolomir and myself will push that farther along while you're gone.
Good. Grayson, Zoramir,
Good luck.
I bid you adieu for
I will
now.
have my Tallahassee will be at the entrance for you.
Mine as well. We had left.
Are we all together?
Great.
Mm-hmm.
They're like right outside the castle gates. Galtier's gonna get up and head to the door. I'm like, well, we need to get going.
Well, I'm afraid that the brothers and sisters are probably going to follow us.
You broke up big time there, dude.
Uh-oh. You frozen.
He did.
We'll get it squared away.
Well, safe travels.
Me?
Let us know immediately if you encounter any danger.
I'll be sure to let Grayson know of our progress as well.
Keep me as informed as possible.
This is too awkward. Grayson,
Unfortunately,
Zoramir,
it needed to be done.
we will be fine. You will be fine. We will meet again in a week's time.
Well, if I was you, I would definitely let the king know that you are back in Brecken's Fjord. He is our ally.
He is not a fan of...
He's not a fan of your mother, which is why I told you she shouldn't go with you.
Yes, and what if he asks about her?
See why he would have reason to.
Fine.
I would just, I'm just saying, I would suggest letting him know that you're there, that you are looking for some lost items that happened during the attack from the dragon. Just a heads up.
Good. It is a good start. Maybe he will have more information. Tormir, will I recognize you on my return?
Hard to say at this point, but I hope so. If not, look for a pair of little wings and a grumpy Grayson.
Here, take these just in case. And I'll give him my goggles that have the magical tinkering on there to see 5 yards in front of him.
Okay.
May not be very useful, but just in case I don't recognize you when you get back, show that to me.
Smart thinking, Blaylock. Thank you. Tuck them away. You sure you won't need these on your journey?
No, I will be fine. Well, shall we go, Arlo?
Let's do it.
Galtier?
This entire time I've been at the door holding it up and waiting for you guys to walk out.
He's just tapping his foot. You guys gonna keep...
Clock's ticking. Meter's running.
Stop talking, Blaylock. All right. I'm gonna walk out the door.
Okay.
I'll shout out the door as they leave. Make sure to feed my Telsa hen raw meat. He loves it.
He's an herbivore.
And he just looks puzzled at that.
What does that word mean?
All right. So you all head out to the Talsahens, south or west gate? Or north gate?
Westgate, probably.
Whatever gate we came in, which was the south gate.
Steros.
We came up from the south, so.
Yep. Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll go
makes
out the
sense.
south gate.
And we just ride along the walls.
Okay. You head out and waiting just outside the walls. In the distance, in the fields, they don't get close enough to the city. You can see the Talsahens.
Good to see you. I'm gonna try doing my animal handling check. I don't think I ever did. Did I ever get that? I don't think I did.
Succeeded.
I think I did.
You were the only one that hasn't succeeded yet.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible.
Yeah, you've only had him a year.
Well, animal handling is not Blaylock's specialty.
You gonna give it a shot?
Yeah, we are gonna give it a shot.
All right.
And that is just a straight D20, and I'm going to use my flash of genius with that. Come on, baby. Daddy wants to tell us ahead. 12.
No. All right. So you all mount up on these Talsahen. That's what you're doing?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. We ride off into the sunset.
All right. Arlo and Galtier, give me an animal handling check.
Now, I told mine to let somebody ride it.
Yep.
We had discussed this
Yeah.
last one. So should they get
That's
advantage on that?
It's more than just that. They're big and awkward.
They shouldn't fight it.
They're not
They shouldn't
fighting
fight
it, no.
I would like to
15.
point that my die did not roll. It just hit the screen and stopped in the corner.
Okay.
It was atrocious.
Just
Well,
shake your
roll it
screen.
again. Yeah.
One better. 4.
You got a 4?
Yeah. 4.
Nice, man.
Okay. And Arlo?
15.
Okay. Arlo, you hop up on the Talsahen, and it kind of shakes uncomfortably. It doesn't really care for you to be up there without its rider. And we'll say you're on Zormir's. And Galtier,
Nice.
you have a hard time getting up on this massive beast. You get up there, but it takes a lot out of you. You're kind of tired. And who's leading the pack?
Gaultier, you should take point. You are much more adept than I or Arlo. Maybe you should take point.
Galtier's struggling just to try to get on.
Yeah, it's my first time on one of these things without Grayson.
Fine.
I'll take point. And listen, guys, I'll just tell you right now that Durin Temperance is probably going to follow me. So I'm just got that feeling that because they think I have something that they want. If they see me leaving, they're going to be following us. So we just need to make sure we keep our eyes peeled.
Should be easy enough considering there's only 3 of us running along.
It has been getting extraordinarily dangerous out, even while we take the main roads. So we should not divert from the path.
Yep. And let's only take a break if we absolutely have to.
Yes.
All right, let's go. You gonna make it, Galtier?
Oh, I'll be fine. Don't worry about me.
You're
All
just
right.
like.
I'll reach down and pet the side. I'll pet the side of my mouth. Show it some love. Run. And just let her take off.
All right. You head out. Galtier, you kind of bounce from side to side as you run forward, trying to secure yourself in the saddle. And you all take off down the road. All right. While you're traveling, how long? Of course, it's into nighttime now. How long do you want to travel before you rest?
I'd say
Probably.
most of the night.
Yeah.
I think we're just gonna invert our days and nights. So we'll sleep at at dawn, and then wake up 8 hours later.
Okay. All right. So you head out. Zormir and Grayson, what are you doing?
Oh, what's the plan?
Well, we're gonna go see what this sun and moon have in store for us.
Have
I
any?
know where their hideout is.
Have any shopping or preparation or anything else you need to get done before we head out?
I've been doing that all day. What have you been doing?
Been doing that for 2
look-
months.
I look behind me. This.
Yeah, that was 4 hours. Anyway, let's go. And I will head out.
I returned my python to Tendra on the way out. That was delicious, almost better than usual.
Thank you. Cooks good.
I can tell. Had lots of practice. I'll walk out the door.
All right. Both of you. Grayson, you're going to head to where they said it was?
It was across from the Bright Star, yeah.
Night begins to settle in. The town is quiet.
Fully aware of my surroundings.
Yeah. Zormir, you haven't been in this section of town. And you find it like there's a noticeable change as you enter into the northern part of the city. The people that you see that are still out are dressed very finely. Even when they laugh, there's an air of arrogance and money. It's almost like a different world. The streets are better. They're more well cared for. They're more lit. Everything's just a little nicer up this way.
Where are you bringing me, Grayson? I don't like this. This area is making me kind of uncomfortable.
Not my fault you decided to look like a freak.
It's eerily nice here.
Yes, it is Castle Verminia. The rich are rich, the poor are poor. It'd get better if you just ignore that fact.
Oh, okay. I can do that.
Unfortunately, there's just nothing that can be done. These people don't live in the real world.
Should we steal from the rich and give to the poor?
It's a good way to find yourself in prison.
Oh, Sormir.
Wouldn't that be a good deed?
Are you talking to me?
What? No.
Just keep your head down.
All right, you.
I can't remember. Did Gilly say there was like some sort of like signal or?
Yeah, she
signage?
gave you the direction of where the door was and a set of words.
Did she?
Mm-hmm.
I know I had the coin. No, she didn't give me a set of words. She gave me a scroll. I got one coin of the sun and moon and a scroll of entry. That's all I was given.
And that's what I just sent you is what is written on the inside of the scroll.
Okay, sorry. I didn't see it pop up.
Yep. Okay, so she told you to take the third door on the left once you went into the alley. You open the door and both step inside a room. The room is circular. The ceiling arches up maybe 15 feet into the air into a dome-like ceiling. The windows around the top, the light shines in from the outside lights that are there, and there's a couple faintly lit torches burning. And as you look around the room, you see 10 doors in a circular fashion.
I haven't said these words yet, correct?
Nope.
All right, I will stand in the center of the room and Belek Maknog Terran.
Excuse you?
As you state the words, you hear, and you look, and on one of the 10 doors, you see a small illuminated sun and moon glow slightly blue just for a few seconds before it fades.
I head to that door.
All right. You open up the door, and it's strangely dark. You've both encountered magical darkness before. It looks like someone has dropped a sheet of magical darkness over the door frame. So you're basically staring into nothing.
You sure about this, Grayson? This seems kind of fishy.
I don't like playing games either, and I step through.
I hold back for a second.
You see Grayson pass through, and he just is enveloped by this darkness.
Are you alive?
What do I see?
I'll give you that here in a minute. You hear nothing back.
I would do.
Okay.
Oh, I don't hear anything?
He doesn't hear anything. Zormir doesn't hear anything.
What I would do is I would reach back out the door and pull him.
So out of the darkness, you see this hand come plunging through. It startles you for a moment as it just plunges from the darkness.
Are you grabbing at me, or are you just like,
Yes, I'm grabbing at you to pull you through.
whoa?
Do you let him
go through?
Okay, you pull him through. As you pass through the darkness, you hear the door close behind you with a slam. And you turn and see it's a dark hallway. At least you think it's a hallway. It's like you're standing in the night sky. You look down and up, and it's as if you're floating in the expanse of space itself. Small pinpoints of light dot the area around you, below your feet, above your head, around the walls. The hallway doesn't seem even discernible to be man-made construction. But as you look down, you see just a slight swirling of the stars that kind of form a circular hallway that you could pass through.
Circular, like a tube?
Like a tube, yeah. It's not moving really quickly, just slightly shifting, like the night sky's shifting around you.
Well, you're the one that wanted to come down here.
Bit of the dramatic nonsense, I guess. Let's go. When I start walking down the tunnel.
Do you follow Zoramir?
I follow, but a couple steps behind, watching
Okay.
what happens to him as he proceeds.
You're fascinated by what you see. The star field all around you. It's kind of freeing after being in the city for so long. You see an illuminated moon kind of shines. It looks like actual moonlight, just slowly passes around with the swirling of the stars itself. And you can feel the tube-like hallway kind of bending slightly. And in the distance, you see a large, ornate golden door. And the closer you get to it, you see it's illuminated a bit better than this hall. And standing directly in front of it is a large Goliath man with light gray skin, solemn look on his face. And you notice that the light from the stars and the moon kind of glints off and reflects back on this massive blade that he carries on his back.
Does he look angry?
His face is just solemn. He sees you in the distance, but has not said anything.
We were told by Gut Punch that this is where we needed to be.
Sponsorship name?
Gilly Gut Punch.
And you see his hand reach out and turn his palm toward you.
Place the coin on his hand.
His hand,
You know, the theatrics are quite unnecessary.
his hand
You
closes
should know
around.
who I am.
He makes no emotional response to you in any sort. And you see him back up slightly. And he reaches back with his arm. And he opens the door up for you.
Are you gonna move?
You can get by him. He opens it. It's a big door.
Not even like paying attention to him. I just saunter by him.
I do a quick head bow as I walk by.
His face never changes.
He's a friendly one, that one.
You blink a few times as you enter into the large chamber. Coming from the dark, starry expanse that you just passed through, the inside of this chamber is almost blindingly white. The cold stone has flecks of black in it, almost like a reversed star field. You see, as you look around, red-robed figures move back and forth among several doors and halls that surround a central chamber. There's a few cut alcoves around this main room, and floating in the center of the circular room, above everyone's head, is a large, glowing ball of light that almost seems to be the sole source of illumination for the entire place. The light proceeds down all the different halls, and as you stand to take them in, you see another large double golden doors lie to the north. And as you keep taking it in, you see a robed figure instructing others, and it looks like magical arts. And on the other side of the room, you see a large library of books where a few are sitting and reading. And you just hear a slight, peaceful music as you stand just in awe of all this.
Think that book of yours ended up in that bookcase?
More than likely. They seem to be quite enthralled with themselves, don't they?
They do. Seems like they take after the people in the streets above. Did we go down, or are we still?
It was hard to tell.
All right. Seem pompous like the people out in the city streets in this part of town. You know who we're supposed to be going to right now?
No, was not informed.
From behind you, you hear, "Well, you must be the new recruits." And you turn and see a deep purple-skinned tiefling standing before you. Red robes, slightly brushing the floor, and he wears a gold sash around his waist. The top of his robe is slightly open, revealing a hint of a scar on his chest. His dark purple horns curl tightly around his head and are capped with silver tips that have small tassels on the end. He stares at you with deep blue eyes as he looks you over.
Zormir looks him up and down and just kind of mutters under his breath, "Pants."
Christ. Am I correct?
You're a means to an end. I told Gilly that we would help you out in order to speak to the king. So if that's what you guys consider new recruits,
well, I am Vinith von Schultz, the fourth warden of this fine place. I welcome you to our home.
Edith von Schultz, could you spell that?
VENNETHVONSHELTZ. The fourth, FOURTH. The warden, WARDEN.
said the third warden,
Fourth.
fourth warden. No, I thought you said he was the third warden.
No, fourth.
Okay, just warden.
I lost you at the second N, but we'll leave it at that.
Well, I see you have a good sense of humor. I We do appreciate that here. Welcome to the Order of the Sun and Moon. I would love to show you around.
Does that get me anywhere farther than what I'm already at?
Well,
I've
it
already
gets
done
you
work
past
for
the...
you. You do know who I am, correct?
Of course we know who you are. It's evident by the symbol. And he
And
nods.
you know I'm not playing any games.
Well, of course, but if you're here, that means you want something?
Very much so, and I don't want to play games.
Well, come with me and let's talk. And he takes you into the central chambers there, underneath the glowing orb. The Order is bound by structure and loyalty. There are many opportunities for those that pledge themselves fully to the Order, and in time, audiences with even the great leader of the Sun can be arranged.
How much time? We don't have many.
Considering your services to the city of late, not much. I believe he was already planning on arranging something with the king.
And do we see so many damn names.
While you're thinking of that. While you're here, the same rules apply here as they do in the city. No stealing, no entering areas that are off limits to your rank. If you need something, just ask. For the most part, it is no problem.
Am I allowed to fly?
We wouldn't recommend flying in here, though we do have some that fly. Mostly get in the way. But if you stay out of trouble and don't try to enter the inner sanctum, which is off limits to those of your rank.
What's in the inner sanctum that we can't see?
That's where the leader of the Sun resides, and we try to keep him safe.
Understood. Out of curiosity, are the flying folk around here, would one consider them pleasant?
Well, yes, we have a couple fairies. We have some others that have sprouted magical wings. You yourself are quite an interesting creature.
Don't get too close to me now. Thank you, though.
As you can see, and he starts pointing, there are 4 halls off the main hall that you may visit here. The Hall of Requisitions, the Hall of Markings, the Hall of Reprieve, and the Hall of Acquisitions.
Talk awfully fast there, friend. You know that?
I've been told that a couple times. But busy.
Go over those again real quick. Acquisitions.
Requisitions, Markings, Reprieve, and Acquisitions.
Really pushing my spelling ability there.
And how often does Kithrin roam these halls?
Not often, but he is usually busy with things at the king's behest. He's actually not here right now. But we should see him later.
And if these are
Speaking-
the 4 hallways that we're allowed
Yes.
to see, what are they about? What is it
Well,
you do?
Of course. Speaking of that, by the way, we thank you for your returning the book to our library. Those who seek to stifle the learning of others of the city. On occasion, we take books from our library and implant them within the official library in the city. It's our joy. Planting a small seed of an open mind is a first step to true freedom. I would
Well.
imagine it was both of you who accomplished this task.
Sure.
Yes.
Well then, and he reaches into a small pouch at his side and he hands you each 1 platinum. A payment for a job well done.
Oh, thank you. Well deserved.
But
I just
yes.
side-eye him.
Feel free to look around and partake in all the amenities that are afforded to you here. If you look to further your standing here, which it seems like that is what you would like to do, visit the Hall of Requisitions, and they can assign you your next task. But, I almost forgot. Make sure you stop by the Hall of Markings and get your entrance key to this place, else you'll have to find your representative again and get another coin.
So we should visit there first then, Grayson.
I would agree.
If there's something specific you need from me, I am usually in the library.
Thank you, Mr. the Fourth.
And your name was... I know him, but what is your name?
I am Zoramir. You can still call me Z for short. Just don't call me the little one.
Thank you, Master Z. Is there anything else I can get for you?
No, but at least we know where you are now, in case something comes up.
He nods at you. Welcome to the Order of the Sun and Moon.
Thank you.
I start heading towards the hall marking.
Okay.
Going with them.
You... Go ahead.
I was gonna say, as we walk off, I'm gonna hand my platinum to Grayson. I don't deserve this. This is all your work.
No worries, just keep it.
Look, puzzled. Okay, if you insist.
You walk down a hall and you can see several doors, each one marked with a different animal. You see an elk, an owl, a snake, a bear, a wolf, an eagle. They all seem to have a red gem embedded in the door itself. And as you pass by these doors, at the end of the hall, you see a small counter with a window, and behind it, a small woman is there with red hair, kind of thick curls, almost orangish red, and light golden horns protruding from the top of her hair, and just a permanent smile, and bright blue eyes, with a white tunic, just watching you walk every step of the way with her hands folded on the counter.
So you are who we are supposed to see about getting an entrance key.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god! Oh, we got somebody new! Oh my god! This is so fantastic! Oh, thank you! Welcome! Welcome to the Order of the Sun and Moon. How can I help you today? Oh my gosh!
I think I stated my
Oh,
question.
I'm sorry.
right.
I'm sorry. I'm Cassie Windrunner.
Oh God.
How's it going?
What
How's it
was
going?
that?
Cassie Windrunner. Sorry, I get really excited when we get new folks come in. Who are you? What's your name? Oh, I like your little face. I like all the little scales and the... Do you have wings?
Is there anybody else around?
Not really down this way.
No, I'm asking her this.
Oh. No. I mean, usually I tell you, they leave me down here by myself. I tell them, well, I'd love for someone else to be down here. I'd have somebody to talk to and someone I could, play games while we're waiting for something to go on. Cause there's not a whole lot that goes down
Grayson,
here,
you're-
but,
Grayson, you're the one that wanted to come down here. Can you deal with this?
so, oh my gosh. Can you tell me what kind of adventures have you had? You look like you've had a lot of adventures. Tell me some stories. I love stories.
I've never stepped foot outside my house.
Outside your house. You have a house? Where do you have your house? Is your house in the nice area? Are you down by the docks? Oh, the docks get really scary at night, don't they? There's like big guys down there. They're, I'm a big guy. I work on the docks. But you have a house? Do you have a house? And she looks over at Grayson.
Zormir is looking through his bag at this point, seeing if he has any sort of tranquilizer.
Yes, I have quite the large home, but that's not why we are here.
Oh my gosh, I almost forgot. You're new around here, aren't you? You probably came down about a marking. You want to get a marking? Right?
Yes,
Right?
Yes.
How do we get this to go further, faster?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Anyway, okay, ready? All right, who's first? Who wants to go first?
I'll
Put
go
your hand up
first if
here.
it's gonna get this over with.
I just need your hand. I need one of your
I'll put
little
my hand
hands.
up.
All right. And she takes out like a magical knife, and she gets it real close to your hand.
What are you doing?
Hold on. Oh, what? Do you want to hear one of my stories? I got stories.
No.
I got
No,
this
no,
one time. Oh.
No, I would like you to get my marking done, please.
And you see her whisper something and touch the blade to the top of your hand. And for a brief moment, you see a small sigil glow on the hand and then disappear into your flesh. That's all it is. Did it hurt? I heard it hurts. It doesn't hurt. I have
I'm gonna
mine.
turn around and start
Some
walking
people
back
say it
down the
hurts.
hallway.
Where are you going? You need to tell me if you got a house. Oh, I almost forgot. You probably wanted to, don't you?
I gently place my hand, palm up on the desk. If you wouldn't mind remaining silent for the rest of this, that would be lovely.
And she puts both elbows up and puts her head into her hands. Has anyone ever told you you have beautiful hands? And she takes a finger and like strokes the palm of your hand. You really do? I'll take care of this. And she takes the blade and kind of runs it down the palm of your hand. You see the sigil glow. There, completely done. Now, if you need to get into other places, just let me know. We need to upgrade your sigil, but you have to go down to the Hall of Requisitions if you need anything like that. But I'd be happy to help you if you get down there. They'll tell me. They'll be like, Cassie, you need to help them. And I'll be happy to help. But is there anything else I can get for you today?
So each one of these markings open up a door in this hallway?
Oh, not these doors. I mean, eventually your markings will get where you can open up all these doors. But, I mean, there's nothing in there that you really want to do. I mean, there's special privileges there if you want some special privileges. But, I mean, most people are like, I've got something specific I want to do. And they don't really care to really be part and grow. And except for Kithrin. I mean, Kithrin, like, he went all the way through all these ranks. And, like, he's happy about it. And look where he's at. Someday I'm going to be like him. Someday I'm going to be at the king.
This is horrible.
How often does Kithrin go in and out of these doors, and which ones does he use mostly?
Oh, he doesn't need to go in these doors anymore. I mean, he's got his big room. His room is so big. I've never even seen it. I've never seen it. I hear it's huge. It's it's big.
Thank you. And I turn away and start
Anytime.
walking away.
If you want to tell me stories, I'll be right here. Be right here. You too.
She seems like nice and friendly. Someone you'd get closer to, Zormir.
Even for me, that is a bit much. I like my friendly people in the form of halflings who like to sing and dance and eat, not... I don't even know what that was.
Yes.
I've been waiting so long for her.
I
It took
haven't.
a lot not to just slam her face into the
Right.
desktop.
I still have a little bit of Yix brew left. I contemplated offering her a sip. Would that have been mean?
In most cases, I would say yes, but in this one, oh my god.
I think it would have been warranted. I can see why they keep her at the end of the hall alone there. Holy crap.
When you say that, you kind of turn back and look over your shoulder, and she's got her head in her hands, big smile on her face, and as soon as she sees you turn around, she just starts waving real fast.
I give her a very half-hearted, like, hi.
So, Hall of Requisitions, I guess. Hopefully not everybody in here is like that one.
If the next person we come across is like that, well, you can find me waiting outdoors.
All
I
right.
don't blame you.
So you head down to the Hall of Requisitions, and this one, as opposed to being ornately covered doors or anything special, it's kind of a pretty standard white hallway. And again, you see another counter there with a large balding man sitting there with like his head in one hand.
That transforms into Cassie as we walk down.
So I take it this is where we pick up jobs?
Requisitions. How can I help you? You're new here, right? Can I see your mark?
Hold it up.
And you see him wave his other hand. His head never leaves his hands. He just waves his other hand, and you see the marks glow slightly.
So we've entered the RMV.
New recruits, I see. Well, what kind of favors are you looking for from the Order of the Sun and Moon?
We were told that an audience with Kithrin could lead us to an audience with the king, so that's what we're here for.
Audience with the king. Let me look. And he pulls out this book. Let's see. Audience with the king, slaying a dragon, killing the kobolds. That's a new one. Hunting werefish. Let's see.
Werefish, those are a thing now.
Yeah, they started fishing them up off the northern coast, and they're trying to eradicate the species before something bad happens, but I don't know where those came from. Probably something from Waterdeep or Baldur's Gate or something.
Very curious.
If they ever find whoever did it, I'm sure it'll be punishable by death. So...
We don't know that Blaylock did this, right?
No. Undead. Meeting with the king. Let's see what jobs we have available. Section 7. Well, it depends. We have a job that needs done, but it kind of comes with a slight inconvenience. Are you open for an inconvenience?
My whole life right now is an inconvenience.
Tell me about it, brother. Tell me about it. Have you met Cassie? You met Cassie.
You have to deal with her much?
My room is next to hers.
I am so sorry for your loss.
In the Hall of Reprieve. Yeah. I'm not sure she ever sleeps. Ever sleeps.
How does someone like that become a member of an organization like this?
You know, I think she has to know someone. I don't know. She's good at her job. But, anyways, we have, there's a small problem. One of the ships in the harbor has been offloading crates. We think they've been shipping things in from somewhere, illegal artifacts. but the only way to find that is to get a hold of the shipping manifest within the captain's quarters.
These the legal artifacts that have been stolen from the cities.
I'm not quite sure. They don't give me a lot of details. I just, a lot of times Kithrin writes these and sends them down. Said they just need the shipping manifest.
Has no one gone and talked to the captain of the ship?
He's not specifically pleasant to talk to.
If they're sneaking these in, what makes you think they're actually going to be on the shipping manifest?
That's what we need to find out.
And the inconvenience of this?
I just want to say I'm sorry.
That's never a good thing to start out with. We've just met.
I need you to take one of the new recruits with you.
Not Cassie.
No. Not Cassie. Not Cassie. What? 1 minute. Fish. Fish, we need you to come out here. I think we found a job for you. And you hear something, and a door to the side kind of opens up, and before you see, what do we see?
Fish.
Maybe. Fish, go ahead. Describe yourself.
I am a purple fairy with a tree-like mark on my forehead and 4 dots under each eye. And I have a moth that flaps on my face.
You have a what the
It's a moth. It's my moth friend.
Oh my gosh.
A moth. A moth. Okay. Great. Now there's 2 of them that are flying.
Hi guys, my name's Fish. So that's not my real name, but that's what just what people call me because I just really like fish, and that was like the first thing that I saw when I was trying to figure out what I should go by, because people are just really rude and I don't trust people, and I can't give them my name because then they'll like own me because like what bears and everything like that. But how are you guys?
You have wings too.
I do.
I'm assuming.
They're purple and they're shiny. They're great.
I just look at the dude.
I said I was sorry.
And she falls under audience with the king for some reason.
She does.
How big is Fish?
Not much taller than you, actually.
Oh, okay. I was imagining like a foot tall, wee little critter.
So, I'm actually 4 foot tall, but when I have my wings out, I'm actually totally like 6 foot tall. So, yeah, be intimidated. Wow. Okay?
That's
You should be very scared, okay?
Take a
Because
step
my wings
back.
are pretty frightening.
That's a big fairy.
They are. D&D fairies are not. Yeah.
You're saying she's not running around going,
Hey, listen.
Thank you.
Listen, mister.
Maybe in a previous life, but not in this life. This life, I decided I wanted to be a little bit bigger because, I was tired of being just kind of like pushed around. Or, I mean, like, not really pushed because people would just be like, pew. So, yeah, this time I was like, I'm going to be a little bit bigger.
Okay. Well, since we are newer than you, have you at least staked out this ship? Found out any information before we
I
try
got
to do
nothing.
this endeavor?
I got nothing. But I'm really good at talking to people. I could talk to lots of people. Cause so I used to be an entertainer, but then like my bird pipe got stolen by these like stupid like cootie lickers, and I can't. So I'm trying to find those, but I'm really really good at talking to people. Really good. So I can find out anything.
Say cootie liquor?
I did. You got a problem with that? You know, names are kind of tricky with me, so like I don't really get people's names. So I just kind of make things up. Whatever I feel.
Grayson, maybe you should keep doing the talking. You're quite good at it as well.
My jaw's just on the floor. Like, okay then. Any stipulations that we should know about on this mission?
I don't know. I'm just going along for the ride. I'm just trying to find my bird pipe because that's all I really care about. So, whatever. Let's go.
Don't get caught.
Okay.
I'm excited. Are you guys excited? I'm so excited right now. This is gonna be so much fun.
There are no words that I could say about what is about to happen.
I haven't seen Grayson this lost for words in a long time.
He's had to take in a lot just in the last 10 minutes.
Okay, well, I suggest we leave here and come up with some sort of a plan. I turn to the dude. What is the name of the ship? How long is it supposed to be in dock?
Well, it's Heston's ship. I think he's got another day or two before he heads back out.
Heston's ship. Is this the name? Do I recognize this name from when Giltier and I were at the dock?
Yep.
Oh, this is...
Little
Okay.
problem.
Little problem.
Ah, yes, you know it, huh?
I know of it. I also know that people were trying to steal stuff from this ship. The gods were doubled last time I was there.
You may be able to talk to Heston. I don't know. He's well, it's hard to explain. Is eccentric the word I'm looking for?
Well, I heard his first mate is the one to make the good judgments of.
I think he calls him Rabbit. I'm not quite sure.
I believe it was Furball.
Is that better?
Not much.
Yeah. All right then. 2 days. We have 2 days.
Good luck.
All right.
Thank you.
I believe you're now coming with us, Fish, so shall we?
Word. This is gonna be so exciting, you guys. I cannot wait. It's gonna be so great.
Do you have your markings so you can get back in, Fish?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But if not, I could just talk to people.
Okay.
Right. Right, well, shall we head out? Clock's a-ticking.
Yes. Yes. We shall.
All right. While you have this going on, we have the other group, and they are heading
For a
out.
second, guys.
All right.
We're just galloping along.
Yeah.
Go.
Say you'd get about right there before dawn breaks.
Mm-hmm. Arlo, I think we should stop and rest.
It's been a long ride tonight. Let's scout for some good defensible position to get some rest. So we'll look for something with a little bit of cover, maybe some rocks or something to put our back against.
I am sure we could set up camp along the road. This is patrolled and well traveled, and as long as we set up watch, we should be fine. I am not as familiar with these types of ventures, so of course I cede to your judgment in this.
So we want to find someplace about 15, 20 yards off the road.
Okay.
Off the edge.
Yeah, no problem. After crossing the bridge, you're into some plains. You can Blaylock especially, Blaylock at all. You see in the distance to the west the beginnings of the Swamp of Lost Hope, a place you haven't been in quite some time. Familiar people from past memories, but where you're at is gentle plains, and you set up a camp.
I'll take first watch, guys. Get some rest.
Altair literally falls off the horse.
It walks up, and you just kind of, you hear thud.
It
Getting hang of it yet?
Tossed around. Not fun. I have to say that's a negative.
Yeah. You will eventually. You've got a week to figure it out.
I hope it doesn't take us a week to get there and get back. Time is not on our side.
All right, get some rest. I don't want to. As soon as nighttime gets here, I want to get moving.
Do you know about how far away from Breckenspur we are right now?
That's probably thinking what, Chris, about a day and a half.
It takes 3 days to get there. So,
Okay.
yeah, you've got another probably 2 days.
Okay.
Well, probably if you... Depends. So, are you all pushing the Talsahen to go faster, or are you...
I'm going as fast as I can without being flailed off the backside.
Okay, so you are not Blaylock?
No.
Okay, yeah, so probably 2.5 days or so to get there.
Okay.
All right, so you camp. Go ahead and roll perception.
No whammies. That's good. 21.
Okay. You hear a lot of eerie sounds coming from the swamp, and at one point of the day, you see this strange mushroom-like creature, but it stands maybe 2.5 foot tall or so. And it's almost like you can hear its feet squishing across the ground. And it kind of stands at you and looks towards you. It's holding a spear in one hand. And you just see it go. And then it turns around and walks back into where it came from. No problems.
Kind of keep my eye around, just keep an eye on him from the direction that he came from.
It just comes from the west. Your watch passes.
I'm gonna go get Blaylock up.
Okay.
Blaylock,
Hmm?
like for you to
Hmm.
take second watch. Galtier's he's had a rough day,
Yes.
so
Yes,
think
I
he needs the
will
rest.
bear this burden. Hmm. Hmm. Get some rest, Arlo.
Okay. I'll go curl up.
All right.
I'm just paranoid, so I'm gonna actually take my sword out of my sheath and just kind of like put it right next to me because I've just got bad feelings with those brothers and sisters.
Okay.
Noting the area around me, I'm going to take particular note of the surroundings there. I would like to just take a good vantage and try and figure out where the best place is to take watch.
Okay.
So, all that being said, I like to use Flash of Genius with my perception check.
Sure.
18.
You're great. You look around, and every now and then you see like a wagon pass with a few people traveling to and from Verminia. They just kind of wave at you, and
I'll wave back.
they seem pleasant. No, not a care in the world. And your watch passes with no issues.
So that puts us at we don't need 3 watches, right? We just need 2,
No,
and that's a
just
full night.
twos. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
constitutes a long rest, and it would be at dawn. So it's like noonish, maybe just after early afternoon.
No, I'll come over there and I'll stir Galtier. Galtier.
I see anything?
Galtier.
Well, you're just waking up, so probably see the sky.
Yeah. Yeah, you see a minotaur with a silver horn staring at you, saying your name.
Yes,
Galtier.
yes, it's Blaylock.
Yes. Why don't you tell me how you feel? Get up, walk around. Maybe we can make some adjustments to that. These are bareback, isn't he? He's bareback, isn't he?
Nope, there's saddles.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if it was bareback or not. All right.
For the most
Hey,
part,
we-
I feel fine. Besides
We
me, I
can
thought it
make
was
some
bareback.
adjustments to the.
No, they have saddles.
We can make some adjustments to the saddle to make sure that everything is in order. You are certainly different size than Zoramir,
I'm on Grayson's.
than Grayson.
Well, that might help some. Hopefully, I won't be tossed around as much during today's travel.
Yeah. So walk around. Tell me how you feel. I will examine your saddle. I'd like to go over there and take a look at it and see if there's any mending that needs to be in order from the saddle.
No, it's fine. You didn't tear it up.
Everything looks in order.
Yep.
Well, Gautier, it seems you just need to get used to riding such a beast as this.
Say it's bigger than anything I've ever ridden before. I've only ever had horses.
It does take some getting used to. Unfortunately, mine has not taken much of a liking to me, more than the superficial. Zoramir has quite the knack for understanding animals. Arlo, you can come over there and I'll nudge him awake. Arlo.
Is everything okay?
Everything is fine. The day is shining and we are alive. So
Right.
let us venture forth unless there's anything you wish to take care of.
Nope. I'm good. I just want to keep moving. I'll sheath my sword back.
All right. Heading out?
Yep.
Okay. So you hop in and travel another day's travel. At what point do you want to rest? Do you want to keep
We're gonna go off,
pushing?
what, mid-afternoon?
Yep. So it's getting into evening now. You know you'll get there tomorrow by... If you rest now, you'll get there tomorrow by like noonish or just after.
Yeah, that'll work. Let's go ahead and take another break.
Okay.
So we travel half a day or take another long rest?
No, it's full day. It's dark.
Okay, so it's like halfway through the night then.
Yep.
Okay, that's what I thought. I can take first watch this time. That ride was a lot more manageable than the first time.
Blaylock, what
Good.
you notice is the area to the north, the Dead Spokes, is considerably more green than the last time you were here.
Nice.
It has certainly changed around here. You all haven't seen it in the state it was prior to. Look at the green foliage. This was once called the Dead Spokes, and what are they calling it now, DM?
I'd have to look.
Okay. They
It's been a
call
long
it
time.
they call it by another name now that escapes me. I will have to inquire with the inhabitants later. I wonder, and I'll start to tell them about Buthok. We met a friend here, Buthok. He was a turtle, very, very fond of the mushrooms. Very, very fond. Helped us to cleanse the heart tree.
Interesting.
It's the Phainamar.
Thainamar, that's right. Yep. Well, how is everyone doing, Arlo?
I'm feeling good. I can take a watch again.
Everything okay with you, Arlo?
Better.
This is
Better. I mean,
This is a lot. Your family heirlooms, this means a lot to your family.
it's not really my family's. It was just me. It's him and his family, and I mean, I thought it meant a lot, but obviously it was meant for the wrong things. I really feel bad with all the problems that this has caused. Wish I track of it.
You could not have known that this was such a significant object. It is of no concern. We will find it, but Arlo, can we really put this back into the hands of Roman Karth?
I'm not planning on giving it back to him. No.
Then you know what that means.
We're gonna have to fight it.
When we get to Breckenford, where do you think we have to go to look for this amulet?
Gonna go see the Smashers. Who's in charge now? See if they know about it. Start there. That's a good starting point. I think it's a library, right? That they have a bunch of artifacts in.
That was
Perhaps.
locked down last we saw it due to everything being shipped out to other locations.
Yeah. So just see if there's anything left, but yeah, I'm just gonna start talking. See if I can find some old people that was there when the dragon attacked. And hope for the best.
We need to be a little more proactive than just hoping for the best, though. Go ahead, Blaylock.
Oh, we will be fine. I am sure we will find this, and then we will have decision to make as to what to do with it and about those that seek it for ill will.
Right. Yeah, I definitely know one thing's for sure. They're gonna have to pry it out of my dead hands because I ain't giving it back to them. Now that we know it's not being used for good, that's for sure.
It is good to see you and to act with such fervor. You were usually so casual. It's good. This has invigorated you.
Well, I was getting bored in that cooped up castle. I feel better now that we're out and about, and something like maybe just like a purpose, I guess. So it'll be good. It'll be good to see kind of where I started when I landed on this island.
Good. Good. It's good to see you in such a manner, Arlo. It's good. It's nice to see you with full of energy and a goal in mind.
Yeah, it wasn't looking good last week. I was just a lot of things going on out of my control. I just mentally, I was just feel like I was having a breakdown, and thanks, don't want. I'm glad Grayson's not here because I don't want to have to tell him that he kind of helped me snap out of it. And it's good. I got to focus on us as a group and not just as me as a person. So got to make sure everything that I do is it's good for all of us, not just seeking out my own way. But time will tell. So hopefully, we can get back soon enough because I don't like this being split up. I just feel very vulnerable right now just because, Dura had said that they've been following us for weeks before they ever took Zormir and I. He's been watching us. He knows that we left, and that's very, very concerning to me because I'll just be honest with you, I don't think three of us could take one of them, let alone both of them if they're together.
Arlo, we have taken down wannabe gods and dragons. Do you really believe that 3 assassins will be so easily fell us?
I would hope not. Between Galtier and I think we can hold our own, especially with in a good sword fight. You and your mechanized units, which, by the way, you've got some really cool ones now.
I have become quite adept with these mechanical creatures.
When are you going to get Leo finished?
I'm not sure. There is so much to do and not enough time. However, just bear this in mind. I have been around this island for quite some time, and I have not seen 2 fighters more capable than you 2.
Appreciate that. Makes me feel good.
I mean it.
I don't feel like I was any capable in the last fight. I spent what felt like hours being decorated by fairies.
You got your fair share of that, didn't you?
But I think it's time to get to sleep so we can get a move on in the morning. You said we'll be there tomorrow, right?
Yep. We should be there by mid-afternoon tomorrow. Did you say you want to take the first watch?
I can take the first watch, yes.
Blaylock, kind sir. I will take the second one. I will let you get your sleep tonight.
We're only sleeping for 8 hours, right? And I need 8 for a full night's rest.
Yep.
Fair.
We need to rest for 8 hours. You don't have to be asleep for 8 hours.
So does working on the staff count as rest?
And it does not.
I will go to sleep.
But you should work on it.
All right, roll it up, Galtier.
I got a dirty 20.
Okay. Night falls. Arlo and Blaylock are fast asleep. You stay by the fire, stay warm. You see a few travelers passing by the road and kind of wave by. One is a small troop of minotaurs. One's got like a lute on his back. One's carrying a drum. The other a harp type instrument, and they
Is this
just
a
kind of
Minotaur Mariachi band?
they kind of walk by and they wave at you.
Nod.
Sleep well. Okay, keep
Safe travels.
going. But the night is quiet. Passes by with no issues.
Before I wake Arlo up, I want to take the sending stones
Mm-hmm.
to give Grayson a quick update. No issues yet. Should arrive tomorrow afternoon. I'll let you know more then. That's got to be under 25, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
And then I'll wake Arlo
He
up.
will get that in a couple days.
What?
Is that delayed?
No, your time is different.
Yeah. Right now, we're like 2 days
right.
ahead of where they're at.
Yeah. But I will
Okay.
remember that message is coming in. This is hell.
I didn't
All
even
right.
think about how our time
You-
is going to get so messed up.
No, I'm tracking everything.
But
Arlo, you get Galtier wakes you up.
Nothing happened at all. Just a
Nope.
mariachi band looking of minotaurs walking by. Other than that, it's been quiet.
Oh, but Blaylock's people. Well, that's cool.
Yeah, I can't say I've seen them carrying instruments like that before.
Oh, maybe we should all see them sometime.
Were they heading towards Breakfastford or away?
They were heading down the road. You don't know if they were heading where they were heading.
Were they heading north?
Well, they can only head west. You can't
Oh,
see
they
if they
came
took.
down. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Y'all have never met them before.
Nope.
No, but I mean, this
Apparently
path
they're
is
still
only.
lost in the plains.
They're still wandering the plains.
But okay, and then I'll get ready to take a short rest.
Okay. Arlo, roll up your perception.
Oh, 22.
Okay. The night goes by quietly and no issues. The sun peeks over the trees in the distance as the next day begins.
We'll go and wake them up.
Okay.
It's time. Rise and shine.
Okay. Let's get a move on. Let's get there.
All right. You ride up, and you see in the distance, you see the familiar city of Breckensfjord, the stone rising up, carved out of the mountain. As we switch back to Verminia.
Whiplash.
Very much so. All right. The three of you are in the Order of the Sun and Moon. You just
After retrieving the manifest.
You
Oh,
silly.
look at that cute little avatar. It's got little purple wings.
That's right, it does. It's got all the details, even the butterfly on the face. All right.
We should head to the Broken Spoke and discuss how we might want to handle the situation.
Follow your lead.
Just along for the ride, so sure.
Right.
Just
So you
try
all,
not to draw too much attention here.
as you're walking, is there any conversations you'd like to have?
So, Fish,
Yes.
you think the king will be able to help you find your missing bird?
Excuse me. It's not a bird. It's a bird pipe. Bird pipe.
Pipe. A
Okay,
bird
like a
pipe.
musical instrument.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it
Okay.
shaped like a bird?
No.
What about this pipe?
Okay.
Does it get its name? Bird pipe.
It makes sounds like birds. I don't understand what you guys are not understanding. It's a bird pipe. Like,
A bird
What?
collar.
no, it's not a bird collar. It makes music. You know how like birds sing in the mornings? It's like
Yeah,
that.
that's not music. At least not to my ears.
Well,
So
Maybe you
what
should
are your
listen better.
particular set of skills? You said you were an entertainer.
Yeah.
So are you a bard?
no.
Huh. That would have been my guess.
My head hurts. Just a little.
Obviously you don't know very much about fairies. Fairies are magic. I am a sorcerer. Hello?
Okay. Okay. We're getting somewhere now.
So can you
And you're
do
right.
magic other than call birds?
I don't call birds. I play music like birds. Jeez, maybe you need a new set of ears, because you can't really listen very well.
I wonder how bird pie would be. Kind of gazes off into the distance.
You have a strange appetite, but you've always had one. So how did you end up here?
I mean, like, so it's a really, really long story, and I could totally tell you all of it, but basically it was, I did something that I wasn't supposed to do, and I probably will probably do it again, but you know, because that's how I am. I just never learned my lesson. Well, maybe I kind of learned my lesson, but you know,
Did you get in trouble?
I'm just really forgetful sometimes. Oh yeah, those cootie lickers, they like they wanted a comedy, so we performed a comedy, and we were making fun of them, but they didn't think it was funny, and I thought it was hilarious. So now I got banished, and then because they're cootie lickers, they totally like stole my bird pipe, which was made by my teacher, and now I gotta get back.
Can you not just get another one of these bird pipes?
I'm sorry. What part of it was made specially for me? I'm not gonna go buy another one. Hello.
I guess I'm not educated in the art of bird pipes. I assumed one
Obviously.
could just manufacture one.
Okay, well, maybe you can manufacture one, and then you could give it to somebody special, and then if somebody special took it from that somebody special, then they would be mad, and that's what happened to me, you know?
How long have you been in the city?
I don't know.
Well, I'm pretty sure you're from the Feywild, but how long have you been on our plane?
I don't know, probably like 270 something years. Maybe this time around, yeah. But you know, in my people's only live to like maybe like 1500 until they want to go back to nature. But so like I'm still kind of like a teenager, so it's gonna be fun.
Did you say 1500?
Yeah. Obviously, you don't know much about fairies, okay? So yeah, you need to read your lore.
What have we gotten ourselves into here, Grayson?
You know, yeah. Maybe I should have gone to Breckenfjord. And I keep walking.
Hey, where are you guys going? Where are you guys going?
We need to go figure out what we're planning on doing.
Oh, okay. I'm really
Yes.
good at talking to people.
Yeah, you're really good at talking.
Well, I mean, obviously.
I already know that there are extra guards at the dock. There's been issues with the ship since it's docked. This is going to be interesting, to say the least. I think we might have to scope out the area.
We're going to be trying to sneak on or confront what was his name?
Heston?
Heston directly.
Well, let's go to the Broken Spoke and see if Preston has any information on this captain and his first mate. I would like to be somewhat informed before we just walk up to the ship.
It's like the best plan we've had so far.
Do they have food there? I'm kind of hungry.
Without any hesitation. Sure.
They have food
Food
at Tender's Den.
and wine. Well, not so much wine. You might like it.
Grayson has picky tastes.
All right. You continue traveling and arrive at the Broken Spoke. It's well into the evening at this point. You can hear some noise coming from the Broken Spoke. Sounds like it's being played on a broken lute of some sort. As you walk inside, it's kind of busy, but not really. I mean, the people that are in there are less than savory, and it's one of those situations that as the two people with wings come in, it's the music kind of stops and everybody turns and looks. Oh, Grayson, what have you done now?
You can't say that I don't bring some entertainment to the party.
That is for certain.
Both of them want food and alcohol, and I will need to have a word with you.
Right this... Wait a minute, I know you. And he looks down at Zoromir. What? And he grabs a hold of one of your wings and kind of shakes it.
Oh, ow, hey.
What's this?
Wow, that's really rude.
Let go of me. What do you think you're doing?
What else have you picked up, Grayson? And he turns to Fish. You pregnant or something?
What? Excuse you?
Well, I thought he was just in some trouble, and
Don't mind Preston. Fish. He's like this to everybody. Go find yourselves a table. I'll be joining you momentarily.
well, with your past, you never know. What do you need, Grayson?
We need to go somewhere a little more private.
All right. So Grayson starts walking back with Preston. What do you two want to do?
I'm going to try and follow Grayson.
Okay.
I'm following for the ride. Going along.
All right. So there, Grayson, you can hear him walking right behind you.
I said go have a seat, please.
We're in this together, Grayson.
Yes, but I have connections that you don't, so
But
I'll
I
be
told
fine.
you I was really good at talking to people. I'm really, really good at talking to people.
And there's an entire bar here filled with people. See what you can find out
Oh,
about
God.
that ship. The Little Trouble.
Get ready, Dresden.
Do you have all of the patrons' names planned out?
Of course.
Yeah. Name generator.
We've got James, Rob, Mike.
You work your angles, Fish, Zoromir. I will work mine. We'll meet back and discuss.
Sure. I totally have angles to work here.
Okay, but whatever.
And you never hear from Grayson again.
All right, Grayson, you walk in the back with Preston. Let's take care of this first. Zoromir and Fish, what are you doing?
Here to Fish. Well, you say you're good at talking to people. Why don't you work some of your magic and see what you can find out about this ship?
I have a question because I am part of a traveling trope. Has my trope been in this establishment before?
No. You
Okay.
you wouldn't find yourself in this place.
Are you saying my friends are trashy?
Yes. All right, what do y'all want to do?
I'm gonna go up to the bartender and order some food.
All right. There's a rather gaunt, elvish man behind the bar, and long, bony fingers and kind of pale skin. Yes, how can I be of service?
So do you have any soup?
I'm sure we have fish head soup back here.
Do you have any vegetable soup?
No,
Anything with vegetables in it?
we have fish head soup.
But nothing with vegetables?
If fish is a vegetable, then we have fish head soup.
Okay, well then I'll just take some water.
Clean or regular?
Whatever.
Regular it is. And he turns and walks to the back and comes out and sets a glass down. And it's a moderately, lightly brown water that he sets out. 2 copper pieces, please.
I'll take out a couple gold pieces and just put them on the counter. Along with that water, do you have any information about Little Trouble that's sitting out there?
I see little trouble sitting right here.
Are you referring to me or my friend? Are you the little trouble?
Is there something I can get you? And he doesn't even touch the gold pieces.
I'll pick them back up and put in my pocket. I am all set, thank you.
Can I get you anything else?
No, not right now.
Thank you for coming to the Broken Spoke. And he turns and kind of walks away to serve other patrons.
Well, shall we go grab a table?
Yeah.
Has the music resumed?
It has, but it's just awful.
Is this the sound that your bird pipe made?
No.
Good. Well, shall we try asking some of the patrons if they know anything about this ship? You say you're one with words. Perhaps we could ease some information out of the people in this pub.
Yeah. Let's do that.
All right. There's several patrons around of several different species. Let me know who you want to talk to.
Well, that one over there. He looks like he's seen some things. I don't know. I don't know what's there. I point to something.
You tell me. What do you see?
I don't know what I see. What's in there?
You tell me. There's several species that are around here. Which one do you see?
What are the choices?
You tell me. Just throw it out.
Thank you.
Kink. Okay. You
No,
see
no.
You see. Been trying to practice this, but
That lizard folk over there. Let's talk with him.
you see a lizard folk, it like kind of a reddish yellow skin, with his eyes red from drinking or natural. He's kind of slightly laying over the top of the table. He's got an ale in the hand. His tongue is just kind of drooping out of the side of his mouth. He's got kind of a dark tunic on, and his eyes just darting around the room.
What's your name, friend?
Hiss there.
Hiss there?
Hiss there.
Hiss over there. You look like you've been around these parts a few times, no?
I've been around places. What are you supposed to be?
Well, I'm a dragon halfling, of course.
Oh, of course.
Have you
Because
never seen one?
that's a thing. In all my days, no.
Well, I think I could probably say I'm rightly one of a kind, and you should be honored to meet the first dragon halfling. Will soon be flying all over these lands, and also flying over these parts. Have you seen a fairy like my friend Fish here?
Fairies. Yes, I've seen fairies.
You're pretty awesome, I know.
Sure. And he takes the mug and takes a big drink of ale. Wipes off his mouth with his hand. So, are you here to proposition me, or...
Seems like there's been some strange activity on that ship out there. I kind of nod out the window. Little trouble. You know anything about that?
I don't know of any trouble with it. It's just Heston. He's here from time to time.
I again bring out a couple gold. Do you know anything about what he's carrying on that ship?
And he scoops it up quickly. No.
Why did you take my gold then?
You gave it to me, and I'm happy to take it from you.
I was just very disgruntled looking. Well, Fish?
Thanks for the gold.
You have your magic that you can work here? He grits his teeth.
I don't. I think he's like really super drunk, but I can see. Hey, my friend, I have friends that might be in trouble out on that ship. Do you think you might be able to tell us if they're in trouble? Because we don't want them to get in any more trouble, and we just kind of want to help them. Can you help us not help our friends not get in trouble, so then you don't get in trouble?
Does it ever stop making noise? And he puts his hand up to his head. No one's in trouble on that ship.
Are you sure about that?
I'm certain. Heston is a good captain.
What do you know about Heston? Have you been on his ship when he's captaining?
I sailed with him years ago.
How long ago was that? And how was that? How was that? Was it fun? Was it exciting? What did you learn? What secrets did you learn about him and his
It makes
skills?
my head hurt so bad. What is this?
I'm just asking him some questions.
I sailed with him before he took a ship that reportedly crashed outside of a little island. I hadn't seen him again till recently.
Oh yeah, what did you do when you saw him recently? Did you were like, hi,
I
Brad,
went
how
and
are
got
you?
a
How's
drink."
everything going?
Seriously, Dragonling, how do you deal with such noise?
This isn't of my own free will. We were partnered together, you could say.
Just like you and Heston were partners. Can you tell me how that was?
Please go somewhere else.
So you thought Heston to be dead?
Yes, I did.
Chance this isn't the Heston you thought it was?
It's still the Heston that I always knew.
Tell us a little bit more about what Heston would do on the open seas? How he conducted his ship?
What happens on the seas stays on the seas.
I mean, that's not really true because sailors talk all the time. And I'll tell you what, I'll make you a
You
deal.
talk all the
If you tell us
time.
everything that you know right now, I will stop talking to you. You just have to tell us everything.
And he just looks at you. And he stands up. And he takes the coins you set down, Zoromir. It's not worth it. And throws them on the table and just walks past you.
Scoop the coins back up. Well, I'm not sure we're getting any information out of the people in here. They don't seem like a very friendly bunch.
I mean, I think we got some really pretty useful information.
Oh, do you now? That's going to help us get the manifest off this ship.
I mean, he said that he used to be buddies with him and that he was kind of buddies with him now. I bet he just hadn't seen him in a while, so we could just totally be like, hey, your buddy over here said, give him a message, and that's how we can get on the ship. Whoa!
You hear the sound of like chairs scooting across wooden floors as people just are scooting away from the noise that's happening in the back corner of the room.
I'm gonna go to the what was it that was playing? Was it just a bard?
Just a bard with a lute with
Right.
a couple broken strings.
I'm gonna toss a silver piece to the bard to play a little bit louder.
Okay. They begin playing louder.
Oh, please drown out the noise.
Would I be able to help fix the loot?
You can certainly try. How do you want to try?
Because I feel like if I could fix the loot and make the music better, then that might make people in a better mood.
If you'd like to try.
I don't know how I would do that, though.
If you've got mending, it's a cantrip.
I don't have it. I don't think so.
Okay. So any other time you would have to walk up and actually try to physically take it from them and try to fix it.
Give me that.
So do you want to do that?
That's nicely.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask nicely if I can fix their loot. Because from entertainer to entertainer, I'm gonna ask them.
Okay, so you walk up to him. He's playing. He's looking at you. It's just a pretty disheveled human, messy brown hair, male, scraggly beard.
Hi, friend. So, I used to be an entertainer with a big troupe, and so I kind of know how to fix stuff and fix musical instruments to get your more coin in your pocket. Can I potentially help you get more coin in your pocket?
It's fine.
Are you sure about that? You don't want more coin in your pocket?
It's a beautiful song.
No, it's not.
Last time somebody offered this, they took my loot. Had to find this one in the trash.
Well, that's probably why it sounds like this.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, fine. Whatever.
What was that?
I perform for nobles. I used to be a really good entertainer.
Oh, I did too.
Well, you could be again, and that could make more coin for you
What?
if you just let me help you.
I'm gonna have to speak louder. I can't hear you.
I give up.
While this is going on, I'm like standing up and just trying to see if I can spot Grayson coming out at anywhere.
Okay. At that point, Grayson, you walk in the back with Preston.
Oh my goodness, friend.
What have you gotten yourself into?
Suns and the moon.
Well,
This
so it's, what is it, adopt a fairy now?
is, for us to gain audience with the king, they had a specific job in mind. Unfortunately, the job came with a fairy.
Hey, job's coming with fairies now. I guess that's the package price.
Yeah, well, the sooner I can get this done, the sooner I can get the audience with the king.
So what do they got you
Anyway.
doing?
Apparently, they think that there's some contraband being taken off of the little trouble. And since you're the closest to the docks, I was thinking maybe you might have a little information. I know I was here yesterday, and they added more guards. They caught somebody trying to steal one of the boxes, one of the crates.
Well, I know if you're trying to get in there, stealthy like, there's less guards in the evening for sure. Place isn't real illuminated, so they gotta walk around. During the day, it's a lot harder.
Any info on this Heston?
Well, eccentric, for sure. He's got that Harrington with him, Furball. He's nice enough, comes in from time to time, but I think he's usually up north. He tends to like the finer things. But with him, gold walks, bullshit talks. The other way around.
You've been sampling your own brew?
I got a new one I'm working on, and I think it didn't ferment right.
Any of his crew frequent your establishment?
They'll come in on their breaks, get a little bit of food, get an ale, head back. He doesn't run a real big crew. Mostly the dock attendant there organizes the crates on and off.
And if there were contraband, who around here would be, I won't say smart enough, because obviously gods are now involved, but ballsy enough to deal with such things?
What do you mean, deal with them? You don't want to be messing with the city guards.
Unfortunately, word is that they are bringing in, the contraband they are bringing in are, you said they were what? They were,
They think it's artifacts and things.
artifact. Okay, so he didn't say anything like magic artifacts or anything like just artifacts.
Yep, just artifacts.
There's got to be somebody in the city that would be interested in these things.
All I know is they unload them from the ship. People from the castle come down. Some they take in. Some get distributed to the rest of the town. Seems fishy, but so does everything down here.
Right. All right. If you don't mind, I'm probably just gonna stay back here for a little while longer.
Why is
Hey.
that?
Yeah, you saw what I walked in with.
Nah, she's not that bad.
No, but you spoke with her for like 2 minutes.
Oh. one of those. Stay back here as long as you need. That reminds me of that time. Remember the twins? They wouldn't stop talking, and you remember.
I remember.
So
I
that
don't know you
bad?
for that anymore, do I?
No. I'd say debt's paid in full on that one. But was it that bad, or is it worse than that?
Hey, this one looks prettier.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, I can't waste any more time here. I've got to get this done.
Well, don't get yourself caught. I don't want to be visiting you in a jail cell or at the execution site.
If I can do it without sneaking in, that would be lovely.
Well, make sure you take your coin purse with you.
Well, you definitely know that. And I walk back out into the bar.
As you walk out, you see Fish talking to the bard. And you see him keep shaking his head no. And then she kind of throws her hands up in the air. And turns around and makes eye contact.
I wave her over.
Friend, what'd you find out?
Well, Heston likes the finer things in everything he does, so he would not be caught in a place like this. His crew members, on the other hand, do tend to show up here from time to time. But other than that, all it is rumors. Nobody knows anything about what's in the crates he's delivering this time around. But money is his weakness. And that might just be what we have. What did you find out?
There's a bunch of grumpy patrons here and a pretty lousy bard.
Nobody knows how to have fun. That's all I found out. Well, and then the lizard guy, what was his name? His something? I think that was his name. Or Hissy something? Hiss there. Yeah.
Hiss here,
He-
hiss everywhere.
Yeah, he used to be shipmates with Heston.
Okay.
Apparently the ship ran foul some years ago, and, well, his guy thought that Heston was dead. I don't know if there's much we should read into that, but curious nonetheless.
So he was a sailor. He was on a vessel that crashed. And now he's a captain of a vessel.
That is how it would appear.
Interesting. Well, gods are less likely to catch us in the dock area when it is dark. So I suggest we go and take a look at this ship. At least see what our chances are here. If not, we can always return in the morning and try to pay for our information.
Do we know where the artifacts are being held on the ship?
Unfortunately not. We don't know what's actual contraband and what isn't.
Well, I guess we should start with the basics. Let's scope out the ship and see what we're dealing with here.
All right, follow me. I'll head back out to the docks.
All right. So you're three heading to the docks. Anything you want to do before you get to the docks?
No.
Grayson, Zormir?
No?
And praying quietly to myself.
Are you approaching quietly, or are you just walking in?
I'm not sneaking. I'm not trying to bring any attention.
Yeah.
I'm just
Okay. All right. You hold on.
Oh.
You
We're in the
arrive.
boat?
You arrive at the docks.
Is that a person or is that
That is a guard.
He's glowing.
He has a torch.
torchlight? Torchlight. Saw me.
He's not just a glowing guard.
Now that's a fairy.
Does he acknowledge our presence at all?
Right now, you're behind some crates that are there. He does not acknowledge your presence.
Suggest maybe now we start to move quietly.
So what's the environment looking like? Like what's the vibe?
What's the vibe?
There you go.
Is that the boat?
That's the tail end of the boat that you see. You can see that from where you're at, a set of windows that kind of crosses the backhand side, and it glows with candlelight. Obviously, it's captain's quarters.
Big boat.
It is a big boat. Right now, this is what you can see. You can see... there you go. And you can see the dock in the distance.
I think something's wrong. Some of it's like pretty dark. I can't see what's going on there.
Yeah, you can't see that.
We're on a dock looking up at the boat. You're not gonna be able to see the
Yeah.
top of that boat.
I know. I'm just messing. I suggest we sneak around. Try not to catch this guard's attention.
How
Well,
close
I
are we
didn't-
to the guard?
30 feet away or so.
Okay.
I wasn't planning on getting into anything tonight.
Or we just proceed walking and see if he stops us then?
Yeah. We have some words for the captain of that ship. I don't see why that would cause us any major concerns. We're not hiding anything yet.
Well, you aren't.
Okay. We're not in any mischief at the moment. Maybe that is a better phrasing.
All right, I agree. Best not to act suspicious then. Let's carry on down the dock.
Let's go.
So yeah, want to kind of continue to walk down. Like I said, I'm not trying to be out of place or anything like that. I'm just looking around.
Who goes there? What are you doing here?
I didn't know I needed permission to walk the docks at night.
What are you here for? You do require permission. These shipping containers are under the protection of the guards.
Then protect the shipping containers.
Well, that's what we're doing. What's your business here?
Well, honestly, I need to ask the question, or a question to the captain of the Little Trouble.
The captain is not to be bothered in the evening.
Well, he could tell me that himself.
he's got company.
All right, well then, how about the first mate?
Haven't seen him.
Well, I'm going to continue to walk around. I'm not doing anybody any harm.
I'll stay right here with you, but you are not allowed on the ship.
I don't plan on going on the ship. That would be rude.
Okay, so you want to walk the dock area?
Yep.
Okay.
Just kind of want to get an idea of. So what I'm doing now is, since he's following us or walking with us, I want to get like a sense of how many guards are on the docks at night. You know, how they patrol, type
Okay.
situation.
Here's the docks.
One, two, three. Push him into the water.
Another guard comes up. Hey, what are you doing leading these civilians around the docks?
Again, there's no harm in it.
There's plenty of harm. We are paid and told to not let anyone any further on the docks. You're not allowed in here. You know that.
Do we look like we're here to cause any sort of trouble or mischief?
Actually, you do. Look at those wings.
What, you've never seen a halfling with
So
wings
now
before?
you're a racist god as well? They pay you to be racist as well as watch empty crates?
Race guard.
And he steps up closer. You trying to start something?
I am a citizen.
Yeah, well,
Has business with the captain of this ship. And if not the captain, the first mate.
nobody does business in the evenings. You
People
know
do
that.
business in the evens all the time.
Well, Heston doesn't.
So sure are you? Seems he's getting plenty of business right now.
Turn around. Go back the way you came.
Or you're going to do what? Arrest me for walking the city?
I might. Who's going to win in that argument? The guard of the greatest city on Dragonval, or the drifter and his two winged friends?
Let me correct you there. I'm a hawker. And in such, that name and title, I am nobility. You should know your place.
Yeah, you should go find the bottom of a bottle. That's what I hear Harker's good at.
Ooh.
Name and rank.
I owe you nothing.
I turn to the guard that was allowing us to walk around. Do you want to be part of this as well?
Well, he's my superior. There's nothing I can do.
And who does he answer to?
The castle itself.
His name?
Captain Shane Doven.
All right, Captain. I guess I will be taking this up with higher authority than you.
You do what you think you need to do.
Yeah. We'll see how that tune changes. I turn around and I start to walk off.
Zormir, Fish, anything?
Good night, fellas. Best not to cross that Harker name too poorly. He takes a lot of pride in it, and it seems to carry some weight.
All right. Guards return to their patrols. Where do you go from here?
We'll head back out to the front of the crates we were at the beginning.
Okay. All right.
Shall I fly onto the boat?
I was going to suggest that maybe the two of you take the seaside and see what you can see. You know there are two guards here. Obviously, one of them is thinking he is above his station. I would suggest being as stealthy as possible, as there are flying guards.
I'm gonna motion to my cape. I do have this too, which lets one teleport. Can only be used once per day, but could be useful here.
Well, I suggest if you get caught, teleport directly back to our location here.
How far out of eyesight from these guards can we get? Is there something on the north side of this boat?
It just continues going out. Yeah, I mean, it's dark outside of his torchlight. Where you're at currently, he wouldn't be able to see you. The guard that's to the south at the moment.
Okay.
But that moment is fading fast.
Say it again.
That moment is fading fast as he's moving that direction.
Oh, he is. You just want us to scope it out? Do you want us to actually get onto the ship? What are you thinking here?
I suggest scoping it out. We have a little more intel on what the ship looks like layout.
Fish, would you like to run some reconnaissance here?
Sure.
I suggest being as quiet as possible.
I'm offended that you don't think that I could be quiet.
I'm going off of personal experience here, and we've known each other for maybe 40 minutes. But by all means, prove me wrong.
All right. What's going on?
Fish.
So, which way are you gonna go, and which way should I go?
Are we both flying?
You both can fly.
I mean, okay. I guess with the way he's coming, there's really only one way we can go, which is over the north side of the ship there. So, I guess that's the way we should go.
All right. You both flying onto the ship?
Yes, I'm going to try to make my journey quick because I only have a minute of flight time.
You got plenty of time to get there.
All right.
Anything else?
I'm going to try and do it quiet and stealthily. Do I need to make a roll?
Yes. Fish, are you trying to be stealthy or are you just going?
I'm going to just go because then I can be a distraction so he could get more intel.
All right. What was that stealth roll?
24? 25.
All right. Fish flies over. Zormir, you fly over. And you land on the deck of the ship quickly. The guard kind of rushes up. Grayson, you see him getting closer. What was that?
What was that? That's the sound of me getting very upset that you, after reading through all these rules that this city puts us through, would treat a nobleman the way your supervisor treated me.
Rules are rules.
Yes, and according to your rules, that captain should be arrested right now.
Why is that?
You insult nobility.
Where's your patents? Can you produce paperwork?
The name alone proves that I'm nobility.
Anyone could say they're anything. Without papers, you're a street rat.
Would I have something like that?
I wouldn't think you would travel with something like that.
Really? And what could I do to prove it? Because you know I could wipe the fucking street with your ass.
Are you threatening a guard of the city?
No, I'm having a conversation with the guard of the city.
It sure sounds like a threat to me.
No,
I think you should leave the docks. Now.
I think you should go back to doing what you were doing.
I'm not going to tell you again, or you'll be spending the rest of your night in the jail cell.
For what?
Trespassing.
Again, according to your rules. This isn't private land. This isn't a private dock.
Protected by the city guard. You need to leave.
And you have no proof that I've touched anything on this deck.
Guards!
And Grayson's the one that goes to jail.
And that's where we're going to end tonight.
I figured it would have been either me or Z going to jail first, but
Yeah.
good job, Grayson.
They don't
There
have
we
a leg
are.
to stand on.
Thank you all for coming out tonight. Surprise! We had a special guest. Thanks to Cherry, our first guest appearance on the Edge of Darkness. On top of that, our first female as well. So good job. Welcome. It is going to be insane. Couple weeks, I think, from what I saw tonight. I think you're muted, Cherry.
Can you hear me?
There you are.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yay!
So yeah. Thanks for that. Thanks to everyone for coming out. We are going to send you over. I think Banter and Babble's running, so we'll get you over to there. Remember, we are off next week, as I will be out of town. So you'll have to wait for 2 weeks to see what happens with Grayson, while the other two sit on top of the ship there. And
I'm
the
going
other
to jail.
and the other ones are at the city of Bregensford. There's so much going on. So thank you, and we will see you in the dungeon next week, or in 2 weeks. Yeah.
Wait, not next week?
Let's get you some outro music here.